By the right of the council, by the will of the force, welcome back into a very special edition of Jedi Talk, a New Year's Eve top 10 edition with just Tom. I'm here in Phoenix, hanging with some family, and got the idea, hey, let's put together just this like top 10, just cooking up kind of very New Year's Eve type of countdown style show. And what could be fun? 2023 was a fan-flippin-tastic... Oh, no, this is Jedi Talk. I could swear. It was a fan-fucking-tastic year for Jedi Talk. So much went on. Brad and I talked about it in detail a couple episodes ago. By the way, hi, I'm Tom O'Gree. Follow us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk, or on Facebook under the same name. My in-laws' dog Diesel's screaming in the background there. So, hey, it happens. Winston's in here with me. We're on TikTok at Jedi Talk as well. Anywhere Jedi Talk is, you will find us. You listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Winston likes to listen to us over on the YouTube. Sometimes we have video. We'll try to do it better in 24, but 2023 was a lot of fun. And I thought it'd just be a special type of episode, just a little bit more recapping and a little bit of hidden nostalgia until we pedal to the metal for 2024. I've got lots of exciting shit coming up for that. Let's just go back, top 10 countdown of the most downloaded episodes for Jedi Talk of 2023. And I can only say this was directly impacted by you, the listener. Like, you literally made this list for us. I didn't have to do anything but just pull some numbers off of our podcast hosting service. So thank you for the votes of your downloads. These are our top 10 most listened to this year. It was so cool to go back, see which episodes resonated the best with everybody within the community, with what was happening at that time within the Star Wars world. And then even going back, and I've pulled clips from every single episode to play a little bit, just so we can listen together, reminisce a tad, and talk about what's next with all of this. So I'll just jump right into it, right? It's a countdown type of episode, so let's get it going. We actually, and I'm not going to throw numbers out. I'm just going to, trust me on the numbers, all right? It is 10-1. That's the countdown we're going to do here of, out of the 69 episodes that we've done. These are our top 10. And we actually had a tie for number 10. So earlier this year, amongst a bunch of other different stuff, Ahsoka dropped at the end of August. And Ahsoka was just, it blew my mind. And we've talked about it at length on Jedi Talk. Most everybody give their opinions. It seemed fairly well received. Bumped Dave Filoni up into the position of creative content creator, chief content creator over at Lucasfilm, which he deserves. So our tied for number 10, one of the two tied for number 10, was our first episode where we recapped episode 1 and 2. So take a listen.
I'm 100% on board. All right, let's dive into this here. Spoiler talk in 3, 2, 1. This started with like a kind of a title crawl, and this made me very excited.
I guessed. Sitting there with Courtney, I'm like,
I was expecting just that recap of here's Rebels clips, but it wasn't. It was a
Can you
crawl.
read that for us, Brad?
Yep. The evil galactic empire has fallen, and a new republic has risen to take its place. However, sinister agents are already at work to undermine the fragile peace, which is kind of funny to me that they're saying the New Republic is the new empire. That's interesting. A plot is underway to find the lost Imperial Grand Admiral Thrawn and bring him out of exile. Once presumed dead, rumors are spreading of Thrawn's return, which would galvanize the Imperial remnants and start another war. Former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano captured one of Thrawn's allies and learned of a secret map which is vital to the enemy's plan. Ahsoka now searches for the map as her prisoner Morgan Elsbeth is transported to the New Republic for trial. I didn't realize that was that woman's name.
Oh, no?
I forgot. I forgot it. I'm sure I watched that episode like 4 times. I'm sure I saw. I just forgot that.
I got lots of to talk about her, but we'll get
and
to
Disney
her.
Plus crashed. Yay! Glad to see my $13 a month is going to a good cause. Fucking jerk offs.
Nachos?
It is. It's going to another yacht and another mansion, and yeah.
It's not going to that movie.
It's definitely not
good.
There's no more Indiana Jones.
Not good.
Anything.
It was a good movie. People are just so uptight about Disney.
The first
lately.
20 minutes were good.
No.
Yeah, they were.
They were also still good.
Yep.
So were the last.
You know what the first and last 20 minutes are always good with? Kyle's mom.
Hey!
I never make it that far.
Oh my god!
That was a good one.
Evan's just up at the plate. He knocked that one out over on the Waveland Avenue there. Jeez.
All right, let's dive in. This episode starts off with basically the antagonist.
Oh, well,
go
hold
ahead.
on.
These two new badasses.
back to-
Read notes and then
Back
we'll go
to
through this.
back to title crawl and then intro into a ship. When was the last time we got that?
Episode 9, the movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when
The movie.
have we seen that? Yeah,
This
it's
feels like a
2019.
movie more than it does a
Oh,
TV
this is a
show.
movie.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
Dave Filoni. That's all I got to say.
He should be in charge.
Oh my god.
And
Yes, he should.
And then I think like not the first word, but one of the first words spoken is like Home One. How nerdy is that? They're talking about the freaking Mon Calamari ship, Home One.
Yeah, because that's what was supposed to come to that just Republic ship. Just
Yeah, they're supposed to like
Republic
meet 'em.
transport
They're
ship,
meeting up. Yeah.
prisoner ship. They're supposed to meet up to get Morgan Elsbeth, and then we get our brand new. So
Don't
these
know
are
what they.
Yes, Dave Filoni should be in charge, and he is in charge. So if you want to listen to the full recap of of the Ahsoka episodes, this particular episode dropped on August 24th of 2023. Both episode 1 and 2 recap. Go check it out. Good shit in there. Thoughts about Ahsoka and the series at a whole. So it's equally as enticing to land on the number 10 list with a tie with our first two, our review of episodes 1 and 2 of Ahsoka. Came out on October 21st, about almost close to a month after the beloved Galactic Star Cruiser closed. Now, 2023 was filled with a lot of highs and lows with the Halcyon that we've covered immensely. And this top 10 is Halcyon heavy because it was a monumental year for it for tons of different reasons. But we spoke about, after a particular article had come out, is the Galactic Star Cruiser coming back? What do you think? Here's a little bit of what we thought.
I'm bad at math, but
And that's
that's
only-
like what?
That's 355 million.
Only in 18 months.
Okay.
So how about you give it a little more time and you make
But
Yeah.
they
so much
weren't.
more money.
It made $250 million in
Right.
fucking a year.
Yeah,
that's insane.
a failure in Disney's
But
eyes.
but
Ugh.
yeah.
How is that a failure?
Hold on. It's a failure because of the overhead and like how much things cost. Like I don't think the actors cost anything as much as everything else does. There's some crazy shit, and even some shit that we've heard off air about this thing. That like how the hell?
Just how much it cost
Yes.
to make. I mean, it was
To make,
like
to do,
insane.
I'm not defending it here, but I'm just saying that it's like if closing it down, and I hate to say this, but if closing it down saves it so for the likes of Kyle and giving the three of us a chance to bring his mother aboard sometime in the future, I would love to be able to have that opportunity. So Kyle, let's hear perspective from you because it's rare that we have somebody on the show that hasn't been on the Halcyon and somebody who is interested in it. So it's like if just give the listeners just a thought and you're interested in this before they close it, and would you go to it if they returned with something that wasn't up to par that you know exists from the three of us?
Oh, without a doubt. And I'm a little bit in Evan's camp where it's like if they come back with it, I don't want a watered down experience. And maybe they could like change the dates up where, maybe they have like a day experience or something like that, and then you could do the full throttle like on the weekends or something. I don't know, but if they come back with it, I definitely want full throttle, and I would absolutely go to that.
And you'd pay the what is it, $5,000 to $6,000 for the 2 nights?
Well, I mean, it depends on what it is. So if it's $5-6 grand, I think I'm just going to take that and go meet Metallica. Sorry, that's going to come first.
Yeah, I would do that too. 10 times out of 10. Yeah.
But if I don't know, I mean, again, it just depends. I mean, maybe we could all get together and go or something like that, cut
Yes,
the costs or
absolutely.
whatever. But
Yeah, for sure.
my preference would certainly be the full experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone's preference would be that, and mine would be that too. But I think to save the building and save all the stuff that was there and all the memories we had there, and maybe there's some sort of like maybe making this not canon kind of frees it up to do some stuff. Like maybe you go in there like rotate rare characters or something in there that you can interact with. There's potential there for fun stuff. I mean, like.
Yeah, of course, there's a lot of potential for a bunch of different shit. Brad was onto something. If you want to listen to that, like I said, we dropped this one on October 21st. Do you think it's coming back? In what capacity? You want my honest opinion right now on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2023 at 3:16 Arizona Standard Time? I think it's coming back in some capacity, but not its former glory. That's just all I think. I don't know. Maybe it's seasonal. Maybe we'll be talking about it's only a month away till Star Cruising season. Maybe Disney will open this up and make it seasonal. Maybe that's how they make money on it. I don't know. I mean, you can market it that way, but it's hey, we're going to have more episodes to talk about this. But I want to get to number 9, and it's Halcyon related as well. On June 2nd, 2023, we met over the HoloNet for the first time, our podcast brethren and heroes of the Halcyon. So this is our 9th most listened to episode of the year. Here's a clip.
When I get introduced,
You can
the
say
opposite
it.
way, I can start saying it now.
Yes, you all can say hello there.
My life is complete.
There
General
you go.
Kenobi. But now we do this collaboration of Connection of Galaxies. I turn directly to my left. They can't see it, but they're in front of my Metallica's Kill 'Em All poster flag, I'll say. Heroes of the Halcyon podcast. Guys, how the hell are you? Welcome. I'm so happy to be collaborating with you guys. Been checking you out forever. How the hell are you tonight?
Buite.
Tabuite
Yes.
indeed.
Hello.
So, introduce yourself to if the listeners of Jedi Talk may not know who you guys are, and we have spoken about you before. Just introduce yourself like it's the first time they're hearing you. Who we talking
Sure,
to?
I'm Superfan Drew.
And I'm Superfan Christine.
The superfan Martin.
Awesome. So, how did Heroes of the Halcyon start? And I have a wild guess, but can you tell me?
It all started long ago. No,
The year was 1999.
exactly.
We all were leaving the Phantom Menace. Some of us were hanging our heads in shame. Some of us were
But
regretting
not us.
buying that ticket, but not me. I was excited about pod
We
racing.
loved it.
I was on my way to Walmart to go get the pod racing toy. That's a true story.
We found out that I did a four-night stint in front of the theater for Phantom Menace.
Holy
And we
crap.
found out years and years later that Drew was in the same lineup, like 4 people behind
I was
me?
about 4 or 5
What?
people behind me.
Wow.
Martin is not
That's
telling
some-
you is
yeah.
that Martin's actually set up a tent out in front of the theater, got permission to bring power, had a giant screen TV set up, a couple of Star Wars movies, got everything set up. And when I showed up in line with my sleeping bag and my pillow, I was like, who is this D-bag? And then, 25 years later or whatever it is, we're doing a podcast together.
It's funny. I pulled out the pictures. I'm like, hey, Drew, I was actually at an episode. He's like, I was right there. And it's wild. But Star Wars
wild.
brings it together.
It does, man. It does bring
Yeah.
everyone together. I love it. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much.
That's a lot like how Brad and I met. So it was Galaxy's Edge related for us. So yeah, we get it.
So were you doing the Heroes of the Halcyon podcast, or rather, let me take that back. Were you doing a Star Wars podcast before Heroes of the Halcyon together?
We were not, actually. We've just been friends for a number of years. Martin was actually my realtor. And when
that.
we bonded for Jaws, because we have a mutual love of Jaws. And I remember very much after he handed the keys to me, I turned to Martin and I said, can we be friends now? And he's like, I was hoping I'd say that. And so when the opportunity to go on the Galactic Star Cruiser came up, I actually was resisting it because, frankly, the cost. I mean, that's obviously something that comes up when you talk about the Galactic Star Cruiser. And Martin Christine, well, Martin especially, was very, very, very good at convincing me. And after that first voyage, we came back and I said, this would be fun to talk about. And as a therapy session, we should do a podcast.
They should do a podcast, and they did. And that's Heroes of the Halcyon. You can follow them at Heroes of the Halcyon on Instagram. They are on Facebook. They have a Patreon. They're on YouTube as well, youtube.com/Heroes of the Halcyon. Just announced about 30-ish minutes ago while I'm sitting here recording this, Martin and Christine are putting together HalcyCon. Jedi Talk will be there. We're going to be all over that shit. And we will see you there officially. And this was announced official. It's out there. October 4th to 5th, 2024. Gather your crew for the most fun Star Cruiser Superfans playground in the galaxy. That's what HalcyCon is. Again, October 4th to 5th, 2024. And the post says, bright suns and rising moons, depending on where you are. With 2024 ahead, we wanted to bring you some great news to bring in the new year. Our confirmed event dates for HalcyCon are October 4th to 5th, 2024. Our next announcement will be our Orlando venue and hotel information. Upgrades will start coming regularly, including an upcoming Instagram Live in early January with more details. I cannot wait. I might use my connection with them and ask where this is going to be happening before the rest of you find out. Who knows? The night is still young. We might get there. But that was number 9. That was number 9. Number 8. Thanks to Heroes of the Halcyon, we went to Muster Meetup too. Ran into a couple of people. Now they're doing a little bit of a documentary on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser called Halcyon Days, the final voyages of Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. So here's a clip of this phenomenal chat. Our 8th most downloaded episode of the year that was released on November the 4th, 2023. Check it out.
Moved personally. It shows in the record amount of people who are going to this thing and showing up, but walking away with these deeply emotional experiences. It's not just like, oh, I went and rode on a roller coaster. It's like, no, this thing changed my life.
Yeah, and I want to just stop for a second and circle back to Carly in the beginning because Carly, I have to say thank you for coming on board with my Facebook call out message. And Tom, if you want to get in here to follow up with anything, I definitely want to hit Carly next.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything you want to follow up on or ask?
I was just going to say on top of that, talking about what the spiritual kind of experience was on the Halcyon, if Disney could have bottled that feeling up and sold it to the people, depression and anxiety would be cured. It would just be cured. You could sell that on you take it once a month or something, gone. That's how impactful it was.
Part of it became not quite religious, obviously, because it's still a fake space thing, but it became a pseudo-religious experience for even if you couldn't go to, if you're a Christian or whatever, you can't go to Israel every day, but just knowing that it's there and that it exists made you feel better. That you could go one day, and I couldn't go to the Star Cruiser every day. There are a few people that win a lot. They're rich people, but just being able to go once and knowing in your brain that it's there. It just made you feel better knowing that people were all having this experience every day and having their lives change. But now that it's gone, it's like removing the holy city or removing whatever church that you go to. It's it's gone. So you don't have that in the back of your mind anymore. But when it was there, just having that knowledge that it's happening was such a cool thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to circle back to that. But Carly, can I come to you on why you decided to sign on to the project? What you thought was valuable and interesting in doing a doc?
Sure. So that's actually kind of a fun transition. So my background is very nerdy. I'm a professor. I study games. I wrote a book about arcades. I wrote a book about Brenda Laurel, who in the 80s worked at Atari Research and actually designed an immersive theater system that I think is the most direct predecessor for the Star Cruiser. And so she later works in VR and stuff, but this idea that you actually would have to use real actors to make it feel real, I think is really important. So anyway, I had gone with my family because I wanted to go someday when my kid could read. She can't read because she's very small. And they announced it was closing. I was like, well, we have to go now, right? And so my family ended up going. I think we got on a plane 5 or 6 days after we got the room. We had no time. And I was so struck by it because two things. One, any kind of script is not complete until it's performed. And any kind of game is incomplete unless it is being played. And I at the second it started getting really covered because it was closing, I was like, oh, it's a game. They didn't tell people it's a game. And I was like, this thing's going to be gone. You were going to miss the complete experience because the game is unplayable. And so
that part, I remember that discussion was incredibly fascinating to me. And I implore you, if you have not listened to that episode, or if it's been a while since you listened to that with the crew of Halcyon Days, this incredible documentary, and I'm going to see those folks in a few days. Yeah, I won't say more than that, but I'm going to see them in a few days. We're going to do some stuff. Can't wait to see that finished product. My gosh, they're all over Instagram. We follow them, Halcyon Doc, Halcyon_Doc, or look up the Halcyon documentary. If not, I will tag them in the post for this episode. Don't you worry. But our 7th most downloaded episode, again, has some Halcyon connections. And it's when we welcomed former chemist of the Sublight Lounge, Libeth. And this is the first time she joined us. Check it out.
Let's go. You wrap this
did.
up.
Okay, good.
So, to Evan's right, we have the infamous, our chemist, Jedi Talks chemist. I remember my first experience in the Halcyon was walking through the Sublight Lounge and walked right up to a very welcoming good journey. Welcome to Jedi Talk, Libeth.
Thank you so
How
much.
are you? Mike closer to the mouth there.
I am quite well. Thank
There
you.
go.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is gonna be fun. We have said this on the show many times. You were me and Tom's one outside of the character actors. You were our favorite person by far to interact with on the whole show.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
1,000%.
I asked you this last time I saw you, but we actually were the very first Spirits of Adventure that was not a story beat, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's absolutely tremendous.
Because I remember when y'all said it, like this is the very first. I was like, oh, it's probably just like story.
Yeah,
And
just
then I
like
was
how it's the 275th anniversary.
Exactly. And I was like,
You were
that's
legitimately
awesome.
the very first. It was
Wow.
not originally part of our program. It got added after the fact. And,
Was that you that did that?
No, I mean it wasn't me who did it. We talked about doing a alcoholic version since they already had the non-alcoholic version, and it quickly came together, which was awesome. So.
Sweet. So you were recently on our friend's show, Heroes of the Halcyon.
Yep.
But we get to one up them right now because not only do we have you on the show, but we get to have you to talk about your actual first voyage as a guest on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know where we want to start with this.
One either.
Well,
Correct.
I like to.
I know, I'm crazy like that.
You know, with these, Libeth is in a long line of Halcyon superstars who have been on this show. We have who we can't talk about.
No, that's true. But when he said, remember when he told us about that thing when they were gonna? I can't believe that. That
I did get to listen to that episode before, because I remember hearing that it was going to happen, and you guys had just put it up, and I immediately listened to it.
If you need to hear it again, we can send it to you.
And
or it's on the Dark HoloNet. So just find it.
The Heroes of the Halcyon said that they have inside their group, they pass it around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's like a mixtape or something like from back there. I think that's awesome.
I love that so much.
So before we get into that, and I want to talk about that a little bit later, but the people that we've had on, we always just want to know their story. So what's the Libeth story? Like, how did you get to the Halcyon? How did your career take you there? Like what's the story? This is your platform. This is our podcast, but your platform. So talk.
Well,
talk. No.
I was starting to, and you interrupted me, sir.
Don't worry. It won't be the last time he does that.
I say he
sure.
does that, but we all do that. So.
That's okay.
Libeth is Jedi Talks chemist. She's our chemist. 2/3 of the podcast were the first Spirits of Adventure. You heard it there. It was incredible. Such a fun time. She's been on the show several times after that. We have an awesome video where we made quote-unquote Oga's cocktails that we came up with. Just crazy. Go check it out on our YouTube, JediTalk.com/ Jedi... YouTube.com/Jedi Talk. It's up there from a month and a half ago or something. But yeah, great episode. Go check it out. That episode dropped on July 6th, 2023. Now, our 6th most downloaded episode is a recent one that dropped on December the 7th. And I'm very happy to see this episode come up on the list, but it's when Evan, myself, and Rachel Ashbrook sat down and talked about how we're continuing the legacy of the beloved Lady H. Here's a clip.
Who was sitting right there? He was feeding into it.
Yep.
He was just as much a deviant as we are.
Oh yeah.
He's alpha. So we are here, and I'm incredibly excited to talk about all of this. So Halcyon. Halcyon Legacy. No, Halcyon. The Legacy continues, right? That's what we're calling it?
The name of the Facebook group. So that's what we're going
I came
with.
up with that, and I can't fucking remember that.
It's a great name.
Halcyon, the Legacy continues. So So we've been talking, forever about these meetups, and Rachel's here for a reason because she's a huge part of it. We've got lots of people working behind the scenes.
Massive,
huge. We've got 3 leaders of the 3 factions here. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what this event is because, Evan, Rachel, people be asking.
Yeah.
People are asking,
We've been
our
vague, intentionally and unintentionally, a little bit of both.
Absolutely intentional, right? But we're also figuring this stuff out too. But we got lots of figured out, lots of stuff you're not going to see until the day of. So my ADHD could take over. So Evan, you want to just grab it from me and explain this a little bit?
Yes. So if this is your first time listening, first off, awesome, thanks for joining. But somehow, if you've also missed this, if you're a longtime listener, so on March 1st of 2024, we are hosting an immersive, story-driven meetup, in quotes, meetup, in Galaxy's Edge here at Hollywood Studios. I say meetup because, like, the idea kind of stemmed from the lightsaber meetups that they've been doing and the droid meetups that they've been doing for 4 years now. They've been a thing. So there's a community for that specific type of thing. But then, obviously, there's a Star Cruiser community. And once we knew it was going to be no more, beautiful, we kind of wanted to fill that gap in our life, that hole in our life. And I was like, well, we could make our own story and have not actors, because we're not actors, but people play.
Furthest from.
Yeah. We're nowhere near actors, but we're going to have NPCs.
The kind that occasionally run into the wall.
More than occasionally.
I better see somebody running into the wall on March 1st.
Expect that
yes. Just keep going and keep going. So I was like, we need to figure out a way for us to play characters and maybe have friends or people that we aren't friends yet come in and also play characters, and then let's set up a story. And I'm like, I'm not smart enough to do anything except that. So I was like, someone take this idea and do it. Nobody really took the idea and did it. So
he said,
like,
Jesus, take the wheel. Is
yeah,
what he
I
said.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
So no one did, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not smart
Jesus
enough.
ain't taking your wheel.
No, I'm not smart enough to make all the things.
This is going to be a lot of fun. If it turns into a success or a failure in the eyes of whoever, this is just the fact that we're getting together and trying. I really think that just says a lot about a community, right? You know, there's a good bit of the community that's going on the cruise, which is awesome. I can't wait to hear about that. And then not everybody's going on the cruise, and we're just trying to extend some of the and celebrate some of the best parts that, you know, Disney gave us with the Star Cruiser and celebrating the immersiveness of it, right? And I can't wait to talk more about that. We're going to talk a lot about that in 2024. So our 5th most downloaded episode, which you can get on, and this date should mean a lot to a lot of people. September 30th is when it was released, or about the 29th, around there. Farewell to our beloved Halcyon, a final goodbye to Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, and our 5th most downloaded episode. And I'm somber for a reason, but here's the clip. But I just wanted to say thank you on Jedi Talk Podcast, specifically because we have been, you know, we've heard through the grapevine, or you've reached out to us directly, cast and crew, who have chimed in and listened to our love fest about the Halcyon. It means more than you know to us, of that just the kind words, and that you listen, and that you've invested your time, precious time, to listen to us three dumbasses talk about a galaxy far, far away.
See, I said idiots, so you're taking it to another
I'm
level.
taking it to another extreme. Brad'll get us canceled when he says it. So this is from Lias Orion and Borel Ulrich, who was fortunate enough to be one of the beloved who have been on 2 voyages, both with Mr. Brad Hughes across from me. So I'm just going to say thank you to the people who directly impacted me. Outside of that, passenger services, I don't remember everybody's name, but you guys are literally the MVPs of the Halcyon. There is no question it could not run without you. And this is not against the versions of these characters I did not interact with. I'm only going off what I can. So Brad and I, first, you know, we've made good friends with Lebeth. Thank you to Lebeth. You were the first experience in the Sublight Lounge and got me so immersed by just telling me to go talk to the captain. Cupcake, another chemist, on our 2nd voyage. Thanks for keeping Kyle's mom's legacy alive for us. Let me hit that for you. Nope, wrong one. See, I'm off tonight. I'm sad. I'm off tonight.
I'm sad too, man.
Lenka Mock, you came to Brad and I. You sought us out. I remember you walking a beeline to the 2 of us, just very confidently, and I looked at your name tag, and it's like, she's the cruise director. Like, because I remember reading it in my pet and coming to talk to Brad and I. I'll never forget that, and sorry for knocking the helmet over on that one voyage.
I don't think she would want you to apologize. I think she loved that.
Okay, good. Stormtrooper Gary, thanks for taking it in stride, you bootlicker. Sandro, the First Order is the worst order. And thank you for including Brad and I in actually writing a song on our first voyage. That was so fucking cool. Wani, you made the Halcyon like real to me when I saw you for the first time, and I can't believe that we got to talk to a Rhodian. And you nailed it. Isn't it great like how all the Wani performers just like owned that? And it's like the playing that wild galaxy out of this galaxy instrument. That's just crazy to me. It's such a phenomenal performance. If you, I'd love to talk about Wani with everyone at the party tonight. Chewie, you made us feel truly a part of something special with the Halcyon. Like Chewie was with Brad and I like for 20 minutes straight on our second voyage. It was so awesome. Vi Marati, down on Batu, thanks for roasting Evan. That was hilarious.
It was. That was one of the highlights of that voyage. And then Ray joined in too later. That was great. I'm sure you'll thank her.
Yes, yes, I will. Kylo Ren, thank you for an incredible finale, but that's about it because you really don't do anything else. Ray.
Sad but true.
Ray.
Sad but true.
Dun, 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 dun. To Ray Skywalker. Yeah, spoiler alert, episode 9.
Hey, man.
The second cruise, Ray starstruck me when I got to see her do a Jedi mind trick to those stormtroopers, and I just was a kid, and I ran with her into the climate simulator, and she turned and asked me what I was doing there because she knew I wasn't with that group originally, but I was called to the Force to go with them. So the Ray knocks it out of the park on this. Like such an underrated character on the Halcyon. 2, the man to my right, Avant. Thank you, because he's canon and I interacted with him. Thank you for truly inspiring. Or it's truly inspiring to me to see your passion at play in person, and thanks for taking Elias's shit in stride. Yeah, let's continue to get Elias's shit on the March 1st meetup. But if you want to listen to the rest of that, like I said, that dropped around the 30th of September when the Halcyon closed, and here are the rest of the thanks and the praises to the characters on the Halcyon that made that special. Our 4th most downloaded episode is the only one that's still released that's the closest tied to the infamous Sammy file. So for those of you that don't know, in the beginning of the year, January 19th to be exact, we received approval to interview Sage Starkey, actor, creator, influencer, former, at the time, performer of the Galactic Star Cruiser. You know, he's all over All Ears Net. He's been with Disney before. I don't know if he's with them right now. I don't think he is. But we got permission to interview him, and we did. We had it up for 12 hours. It had to get taken down. So this episode is actually the first episode we had after putting the Sage episode up and down. Because of this. And then we had an amazing Thursday night.
It was so good.
So amazing to the point where we got to share it with quite a bit of you.
Yeah.
Like, quite a bit of you.
A shocking number for how brief it was.
From how quick it was.
Yeah.
And then it came crashing down at about 9:30 in the morning Friday.
Yeah.
And we had some discussions, and the thing we had posted, the episode we had posted with our very, very special guest, we had to pull social media posts down too because we didn't want to promote anything, but it was asked to be taken down by a rodent. Does that help?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That adds up. No, so okay. I want people to know that like this is something that was very hard for us to do, for multiple reasons. There's some personal reasons for me that annoy me about it.
That's fair.
But it is nothing against Sage. It is nothing against the Walt Disney Company. It's just annoying because of how good it was.
Right. And we're just being extra careful as we're trying to keep information and people on the episode, including ourselves, as safe as possible.
Yeah.
It's currently under review, and we're super hopeful that we, like I said, on the reels, as soon as we can get it up.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
We have every intention of getting it up. Just like
that's what she said.
Kyle's
Jesus Christ. God, thanks, Kyle's mom.
No, I do want to say thanks to Sage for coming on. Because at the end of the day, if it comes back and this can't be released for whatever reason, we had fun and made a friend.
Exactly.
So it's not the worst thing in the world for this to...
Or we go to war.
Or we go to war.
But that would
wouldn't
truly...
benefit anybody.
No, it wouldn't benefit anybody. No. It would hurt It would get us publicity, but that's not that kind of publicity.
That's not what we want.
Yeah, and it would hurt
That's
a
not our
relationship
thing.
we have with Sage.
Yeah, and that's not, like I said at the end of the day, it's worst case scenario. We made a friend, so
We did.
That's how I'm looking at it.
And we've heard from a lot of you through this little bit of interaction we've had. New fans of Jedi Talk who don't know us yet. What the hell are you doing? You call yourself a Star Wars fan? I'm kidding. I love you.
Hit the button.
Oh, there we go. Say hi to Lumpy, everybody. Yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of people had their eyes on this episode because they missed it. We were getting questions left and right about it, and we were very just cautious of sharing it at that time because didn't want Sage to get in trouble, even though there was approval to get that to be released. We just didn't want any backlash because the Star Cruiser, this was before any announcements of it closing. We loved this thing. We fucking love it. And it was like both a high and a low for me this year for the podcast. A high when we got it and just such a great conversation we had with Sage, and then a low when we couldn't be able to get it out because I felt like Disney was just letting it. At the time, I felt like that they were just letting the Halcyon bleed. And I'm not saying Jedi Talk could have come to the rescue and saved the Galactic Star Cruiser. Absolutely not. Because I didn't know that what kind of position it was in then. But us three dumbasses have a microphone. And 98% of the time, outside of talking about the cost, which is nothing new, we gave this thing a glowing fucking endorsement. And on it with Sage, I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't have at least sold you a couple of people. And then those people tell more people in their family, and those families tell their family, and it grows. And again, not saying we could have saved it, but fuck. I felt like we did a better marketing job with it. I get frustrated when I think about it, guys. I do. I know you do too. But if you want the Sammy file, DM us at Jedi Talk Podcast or go in our link tree on Instagram. It's closed now. Go ask for the Sammy file. It's on the Dark HoloNet and live, so Ryan will grant it to you. So our third most downloaded episode actually happens to be the one voyage on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser that Evan, Brad, and myself, Tom, took together. So here's the recap episode, a little bit of a clip. Our third most downloaded episode that you can find on May 12th, 2023.
It's been accepting that we're back on the terrible planet Earth.
Oh, my God. Evan, it's good to see that you showed up tonight. First and foremost, I want to put that out.
I have some
there.
of the Halcyon here with me. I'm eating some of the Parmesan crisps.
I saw those. I wondered if that was...
I dialed 9-1, and then I was getting ready to hit that other one.
What's the suicide hotline number?
That's what I was getting to.
I'm good. It's been a weird week, but I'm good. I'm ready to get through this. Got a nice long week, or not long weekend, but got a nice weekend planned. Doing Typhoon Lagoon on Saturday.
Oh man, I was gonna say because I'm doing Glow Nights next weekend.
My parents are doing Glow Nights next weekend.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
We're into them. Yeah,
you'll see my parents there.
Good old Glow Nights. Typhoon Lagoon's legit.
My mom will be the one hobbling into the wave pool, and getting knocked over and having to have another surgery. That's fun.
I'm calling that now. Kyle's coming back with that.
At least my mom can stand. Thank you for mocking my mother's disability. That's great.
You know what, though? Are the fish on the Halcyon named after Brad's mom?
Oh, let's
no.
start there. Yeah.
They're not. The fish are named after Kyle's mom.
So I didn't go back and listen to the episode, but I can only imagine that the first one we did was pretty bad. Because
I haven't listened yet. I downloaded it. I
listened to it.
but
It's actually, you could tell we're all exhausted, but there's like bits and pieces that I actually cracked up at.
Really?
I bet.
Listening to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only listened to about 30 out of the 40 minutes.
Okay. I remember it was weird because I couldn't hear anybody, and you were in the bunk above me.
Yeah, you couldn't even see him. I could see both
I heard
of you.
the both of you perfectly because I was the only one with headphones on.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was,
that's right.
There was about 10 minutes there. I was just looking at the wall, and I'm like, I could
wait,
just
I'm
fall
doing the
asleep
show.
right now.
Right.
That's hilarious.
ASMR, Evan
We're
and
like, isn't
Brad.
that right, Tom? Tom?
Lias?
By the right of the who taxed me over the one. What was cool about the show we did on the Halcyon, and we should make that a tradition, by the way.
Agreed.
Regardless of how
Easily.
shitty the episode is, I don't care.
I think we should do it in the atrium next time. That was the plan
Yes.
originally, but I think next time we
were
very
very tired. Yeah.
That was truly all it was. And actually, we had so spoiler alert, not spoiler, but like just so you guys know, we had actually planned to do it on the bridge.
Right, we were
At
But
one
they
trying.
point.
closed it earlier
They
than we
closed it
thought.
earlier than we thought. So
Yeah.
we
What
were
was
gonna
Closed
do
it
it
at like 10, right?
10:15.
on
10:15?
on night
Okay.
one. It's night two is a little different.
Which like
it seemed to be open when we were out there at night 2.
Yeah, night 2 because everything's over.
right.
Like we don't care anymore. Everything's done.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say was,
I don't know why they seal it off at all. You can't mess with anything in there. Like none of the stuff's on. Leave it open. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's a good point.
It shouldn't be close.
I don't
To
know.
me, it shouldn't be close. I think the only thing that would prevent them from doing it is there's a backstage area there.
There is.
That's pretty accessible.
That's true, and they don't have a door. It's just a hallway.
So that's
exactly why.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
but you know what?
that's a good
Hey,
call.
build a door.
Yeah, put a door there.
Put a door there.
Put a door there. Hashtag put a door there.
And then make the
put a door in the
make
house.
the Pentorans pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh man, Croy, that was
Just tax
deep.
Tom.
Tax Tom too.
Tax Tom, don't tax me. Join the cause. I just got away from that. We did on the cool thing about the podcast, which was we all found the answer to: do they go to hyperspace at night? And
Right,
like
in
at
the
about
middle of the show. We're
11:30,
like,
in the middle of the show, Evans, we all like.
I thought for
heard
sure they
watch, and Evans like, was that watch outside?
Yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, he definitely just said something, and then boom, hyperspace.
Yeah, I thought for sure they didn't. You, one of you, I think it was Tom, even asked me, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I was like, so sure.
I did ask you,
and then they do. I was wrong.
You were dunce. No, it's okay.
That's what I love about this thing. I can watch thousands of hours on it
Yeah.
and still know only 10% of it.
Yeah, that wasn't easy to listen to. I'm not gonna lie. Winston's throwing a fit about it too. I don't know if you can hear him. Sorry if you hear him during this episode. My dog's a spaz tonight. He's just got anxiety problems. But that's tough to hear because we were what? We recorded that the 12th. I released at the 12th, so maybe we recorded at the 11th or the 12th. Let's say just say for shits and giggles. And they announced a closure on the 18th, so 5 days away, 6 days away. Ooh, man, and just like thinking, like, you know, you had plans to do it. There's a lot of life lessons there this year. 2023 highs and lows. It's every year. It's every year. I've talked at length about it. I right now I just have to have optimism that something will come of it. You know, something will come of it. So our second most downloaded, number 2 and 1 should be no surprise to our loyal listeners. What do you think number 2 is? Well, I'll tell you what it is. On November the 30th, my wife's birthday, this is the day it released, but that's not the day we recorded this episode. Former Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser actor who portrayed Wraith Cole, Jason Keller, sat down with us. Check it out.
People have said they're like, okay, my 4th or whatever cruise, I didn't plan to go see Wraith, but it's Wraith. Wraith is there. You can't, you don't really turn down Wraith, you know, like so. It happens.
That's pretty awesome. Well, it's funny because, like, you know, I mean, that storyline got to be way more popular than I think they anticipated. To the point where they had to,
absolutely.
You know, they had to change some of the programming to whether or not people got on it because we were having cruises of like 130 people, and at that point, it's not cruise, having. Well, cruise, but having like heist crews of like 130 people, and at that point, it's not a heist; it's like a mutiny, right? Like at that point, we're going to take in the ship. You know what I mean? Like, now we have the high night, we have the rest. Sorry, Captain, I love you to death. I love you to death. You're first mate now. That's exactly right. Mutiny.
And then you try to squeeze in 130 people in that cargo hold. It's not possible.
Well, I mean, you can tell people.
A little. But that third cruise we were on, I was standing on top of the box up by the wall because people were pushing me up. I had nowhere else to go. So,
well, that's what's funny. Like you can tell over the days that like people start gravitating towards that character naturally.
Yeah,
because I think it's like you said, it's in us. Like the Han Solo-y Star-Lord kind of character is like what every dude wants to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly what I wanted to be. It was the sort of joy of it. You know, I couldn't tell you exactly what the differentiator was. You know, but it was. I don't know. Someone at one point, I think this happened on stage. Someone was up and was like, "All right, Wraith, my friends are all with you. Why should I go with you?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, you can go with the captain and all them and be good, or you can go with the First Order, and if you ask me, that's bad. Or you can come with me and be cool." It's up to you. It's up to you.
That is the best quote ever.
I mean, how do you say no to that?
Right, exactly.
No, you got me there. You got me. But
you don't say no to Wraith Cole. And God, I can't thank you, Jason. If you listen to this, and I've said this till I was blue in the face in person, both on and off air, but I can't thank you enough for joining this podcast. Every time a former Galactic Star Cruiser actor comes on Jedi Talk, and we've had really 4 times with having Lebeth on too, just former, just people involved with it. It's incredible. The reception is so good. This community is just it's different. And I'm a part of a lot of communities. You know, I'm a big member of the Metallica family, big in DC Comics, Marvel a little bit, the Disney parks, but the Halcyon Star Cruiser community, put it on top. You know, it's just so welcoming, and it's so, you know, everybody understands. You know, there's definitely a bunch of different, you know, creative individuals, diverse community who do come together as one on this shared love of what was there in a spark. So when we have a former, you know, Star Cruiser performer on, it's just, you know, for Jedi Talk, it's great. And I can't thank Jason Keller enough for coming on. You know, Jason Keller Actor on Instagram. Check everything out that he's done on that podcast. He's mentioned, you know, his movie that's available everywhere, Hunter. He's mentioned some other things that he's done. He didn't talk about this to us on the show, but the dude voiced a character in the Witcher video game, the most recent one, Witcher 3. DLC. Kyle actually talked about it on the Fourth Mother Box. So we fucking interviewed a Witcher. That's so goddamn cool. So finally, let's wrap it up. And the most listened to downloaded episode for Jedi Talk of 2023. And I'm going to leave it in the words of the episode of the clip that I'll play. And I'll say this before we get into this episode, but thank you to each and every one of you who has downloaded, even if it was one episode of ours out of all 70 that we've done this year, or if you've listened to all 70, you listened to half of it, you liked something on Instagram, or you told us you didn't like something, as long as it was civil. We love the hell out of you, and we can't thank you enough for all the interaction, all the love, all the hate, all the mediocrity, all the hell yeahs, all the laughs, all the encouragement with the Kyle's mom jokes. You guys truly make this hour, 2 hour, however a week that we do special. Jedi Talk, cannot thank you enough. My name is Tom. On behalf of Brad and Evan, thank you again. I wish there was another word I can use, but this was the most listened to episode of 2023 for Jedi Talk, when former Galactic Star Cruiser performer, actor that portrayed Lieutenant Harmon Croy, Adam Riley, joined us. Enjoy.
You're so funny. Like I'm genuinely shocked you have some sort of computer training.
I was given, like, you were trying to hear the code, and I was like doing the typical 6247, and you turned to me, I will shoot you. Like, really?
Hopefully I didn't say literally that.
No.
Okay.
No, but it was just like, I will, like you just got my face. What I heard was that, or at least that's what I wanted to hear, because I thought it was beautiful.
Well, it's in the past. You know?
Yeah. It's in the blast. I mean, past.
Yes.
No one was shot.
No one was shot.
Yeah, it's
what was the not only are you...
Oh, hold on.
He's got that on the soundboard somewhere.
Do you know that you're on our soundboard, Adam?
I heard it a couple times today. I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
Okay, so obviously not only are you in support of these troopers being in the brig, you're tearing this poor family apart.
You cut it off right before my
like, he's dying, I'm dying. It's the hardest I laughed on
laugh.
the whole voyage.
People at Disney do love for you to kind of be mean to them and to kind of say the thing you shouldn't say, as long as it's not profane or scatological.
Because it's the exact opposite of what you think you're going to get. And so, like, that's what's beautiful about it, is because you're like, I did not see that as an option.
It's a lot of fun. So as long as I feel like they could sense the fun and the love, you could have a lot of fun roasting. Sometimes I would lighten up on the roast if I felt that we could get edgy real quick. Mainly, and it's not, I don't mind people being edgy. That's like LARPing. That's real. Mm-hmm. I just know we kind of got a show to do, and that's the actor in me kind of trying to make sure we're keeping up good show. And I don't want the negative energy to like really, sidetrack and people be like, wow, okay, now they're really fighting.
Yeah.
And in Disney in general, but like also on the house scene especially, you're on someone's phone at all times. You're constantly being recorded. So if you say or do one little thing, it's going to be on YouTube in 10 seconds.
Viral, bro.
It's one of those things that I think helped keep it always heightened.
Yeah.
And it's my friend Brooks said it the best, where like every corner is a stage. The whole thing is a stage, and you get to be an actor too. But knowing that could happen doesn't bother me. It's a good reminder, like, okay, we've started. You're in that world.
Yeah.
and it's a different world. So my brain takes all of that as a reminder. And the director of the piece, who I hope I don't get in trouble for crediting, because she deserves all of the credit, Michael Tara Garver, just a brilliant creative and a person who really strong-armed this thing into what it is. She was really good among some of our first cruises about giving us some great direction about how to deal with phones and faces and stuff. And it's just so much easier than you think it is, because it's like you already know what you're supposed to be doing then, right? So do it harder to whoever is behind the camera and just accept that it's there. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I was like, I think I'm ready to be on TV.